Good morning or good afternoon. It depends on where you're at. So, just to let everyone know, I was supposed to have Tyler Blackman on today, and we were supposed to talk about some our rights and a few other things. Hold on, let me turn my other light on. And conflicts happen, so we're not doing that. But you know what? I'm always prepped. I'm always ready. So, actually, gonna have hit some other things that I was planning to hit later on. So let's get into it. But hey, it's the big baby. And I'm back all by myself. But anyways, I planned to start open this podcast talking about can you be pro-black and have a white wife? And then you wake up, you're going through your notes, and you see another black man killed by police. And it happened in Atlanta, a city where, some people were upset with the rioting, the protesting, the looting, and so forth, because we were saying, hey, this is a great city for black people. We're doing well here. And it is a great city for black people, but you still see that even in one of the better cities for our people, we still have the same issues that are happening across the country. And you never know who, what, when, and where. So prayers and condolences to the family of Rayshard Brooks, who was murdered by Atlanta Police Department because he fell asleep at a Wendy's drive-thru. He was drunk. Yes, he did get into a physical altercation with the police, but based on everything I've read and the limited stuff that I've seen, because I'm not going to watch that entire video, it got to the point to where he was running from them and got shot in his back. And let's be honest, man, if they're running, you're no longer a threat. And there has to be immediate change, because even a fight does not mean you should lose your life. And bro, it was two cops. Like, what kind of training are we doing? But I'm not going to get too deep into this specific situation. But I say don't peel me and tell me it's rain, because some people don't think there's a police brutality problem. But there obviously is. Protesters have been met in the street with police brutality, tear gas, riot shields, getting hit with billy clubs. So don't tell us it's not a police brutality problem when you are combating people who are protesting police brutality with police brutality. Like I say, don't pee on me and tell me it's rain. The police boss up in New York was talking about the police feel like they're being treated like animals and such. Well, how do you think the people feel? Specifically, black people, my people. How do you think we feel when you treat us this way? Okay? So just think about that. And for the people who are defending the police, there is room to defend the police. I'm not going to sit here and say that there isn't. But when lives are being taken, you have to understand that it's not okay. But anyways, we're going to get through our topics. Let me see. What do we have on tap today? Next, we're going to get to can you be pro-black and date or marry white? Then we're going to talk about defunding and demilitarizing the police. Going to talk about some crumbs, divorce and Dabo, some kneeling white guilt, Black Lives Matter is the minimum, and everyone isn't an ally. So let's see. So I saw a post on Facebook recently, and pretty much the sentiments were, can you be pro-black and have a white wife? The short answer is yes. Yes, you can, but it's more layered than that, okay? Because love inside your house doesn't have a color to it. But I offer what happens when you leave the house. Personally, when it comes to the people who I'm interested in, the people I date, I don't put a color on attraction. I look at personality traits. I look at physical appearance. You know, it's just not for me. But I also understand what happens when you decide to step outside of your race when you're dating somebody. You're opening up yourself for scrutiny. You're opening yourself up to have to be immersed in a culture that you may not be fully aware of. And also that person is opening themselves up to being a part of a culture that you're not aware of. Because understand, especially when it comes to the black and white thing, once you all decide to have a child, that child is black. So you have to be sure that when you're stepping outside of your race, you are sure that the partner that you are with is equipped and capable of raising a black child. So I had a few conversations with this because I didn't know which way I wanted to go with it, how I wanted to approach this one, because I think it's a very controversial issue. And a lot of people are afraid to talk about it, but I'm going to tell you, I'm not. I'm going to be honest with you. It's touchy. It really is. And even in my dating life, I typically would look for black women, but you don't always find someone who you're attracted to, who you vibe with, and that happens to be your race. So one piece I got was, person didn't want to come off as a racist, but they were like, look, as a parent, I'm against my son dating a white woman. I'm like, well, why? You know, if they're happy together, they can live in a house together. Who cares? And then this person says, okay, the house may be good, but what happens at family functions? How does their family feel? Are they going to be welcoming? Shit, is my family going to be welcoming to this? You don't know. And there is a certain level of family that we want outside of our household. And if you can't find this in a person outside of your race, you should, consider that when you are considering dating. Again, I'm a person who's like, look, bro, I don't need your family. If I don't really, my family, I love them, but if they don't agree with who I'm with, that's their problem, not my problem. So you push forward. But at the same time, you do want to have Thanksgiving. You do want to celebrate Christmas. You do want to be able to go to cookouts, birthday parties, family functions, and the family be there, and you're all on a similar united front. But I will say that if you are looking to go outside of your race, if you're looking to date only white women, only Latinas, only Asians, and you're putting down black women, you're putting down our queens, then that's where the problem comes in. Because if you don't have enough respect for your mama, the type of woman that your mother is, then you got some self-hate inside of you that you got to work out. And you probably need some therapy. You need some loving. You need a new support system, because that's not okay. It's not okay at all. So an interesting piece that I got, let me find the screenshots for you real quick. It was an interesting post that I saw that talked about the difference in black interracial couples. So this black lady says, dear black interracial couples with a significant other who is white, raise his hand. We do not need to protect them. I promise they will be A-okay. They need to continue to fight for us. If they get offended when you talk about races, you have a bigger problem on your hands. And I think that's very important to understand, that if you are choosing to date interracially, you shouldn't be out here trying to protect them from people saying, but no, I love him, I love her. No. They should be out here ensuring that they are protecting you and using their privilege to help you out fight the battles that you can't fight on your own. They should help you be a beacon of light to show that, hey, there is a place for equality, not just in the workplace, not just in our day-to-day walk, but also in our homes. Another perspective that I saw, which is toxic, which is problematic, and it's something that makes you wonder, what's on your mind? Here we go. People of color. We're going to get into this people of color stuff too, all right? Because everybody ain't your ally. Just because people have some melanin in their skin does not mean that they're on your team. But we'll get to that. People of color, let me introduce you to my white wife. She's my best friend, my world, the greatest blessing God has ever given me. She feels your pain. She worries for her husband when he leaves the house. And she too is deeply saddened by some of our nation's most recent events. The murders of Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd. Please know that when you make blanket statements or generalizations about how all white people are racist, you're talking about my wife. In fact, you're talking about some of my closest friends and the best people I know. That I can't tolerate. I'm okay with people making judgments about me because of my skin color. To be honest, I couldn't care less what you people think of me. However, when you make statements about the people I care about, it ticks me off. Get off Facebook and know that not everyone has to express themselves the same way you do. Does this guy have some valid points? Absolutely. And I'm gonna break this down in the bubble in which I read it. It appears that you are too busy trying to cape for your white partner and your white friends than you are worried about the issues that are affecting your community. And that's what we cannot do. Don't get me wrong, there is a time and place for the conversation of, are you looking for equality or are you looking for superiority? And that goes to any group of oppressed people. It's a serious question. Don't preach equality if that's not what you're looking for. So, but when you have people like this who seem to want to protect their own interest, their own personal interest, right? Not the interest of the collective, that's where we have a problem. When you have the people who don't want to immerse themselves in their own culture and be comfortable in their own skin, that's where we have the problem. So I'm not going to tell a man he's wrong for wanting a white woman, a white wife. I'm not going to tell a woman she's wrong for wanting a black man or a white man, whoever, somebody who does not look like them, does not have the same amount of melanin as them. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. But here's where I'll tell you that you're wrong. When you won't stand up for yourself, you won't stand up for your people, or you won't immerse yourself into your own culture, and then also be prepared to immerse yourself into their culture. Because let me tell you something. Like I said earlier, if you are having mixed children, those children are black. So if you are not trying to understand our culture, understand our plight, that's a problem. If you get uncomfortable with these race conversations, that is a problem. If you as a black man can't look your white wife in the face and talk to her bluntly and candidly about race and the issues and the plight that you are going through, that is a problem. So can you be pro-black and have a white wife? Absolutely. But what you can't do is you can't not hold your spouse, your partner, to a standard that forces them to get comfortable being uncomfortable and being immersed into your culture. And it works both ways. Because in order to get progression throughout, if we want equality, if we want to unite as a people, we have to live in someone else's skin. And if you're not comfortable living in someone else's skin, if you're not comfortable living in my skin, why are we trying to hit skins? Can't do it. Can't do it. Now, if you want to be a black nationalist or if you want to preserve your race, I have no issue with that. Absolutely not. If that's what you're looking for, that's fine. And I'm not going to knock you for that because I think there is something to say about being black, being a black man with a black woman. I think there's something to say about being white man, white woman. I think there's something about being Hispanic with a Hispanic, like so on and so forth. So I think embracing your culture and maintaining that is fine. There's no issues with that. But just understand that if you're selling yourself out for your partner, if you're selling your people out for your partner, then that person isn't meant for you. And also, you ain't gotta overdo it just because your partner is not your race. Okay, it's fine. Be yourself. Be in your skin, but don't be out here trying so hard to prove your level of blackness, your level of black pride to us, because we can see through the smoke screen. We really can see through that. But be careful. Man, let's talk about defunding the police, man. I've seen a lot of people talking about defunding the police, demilitarizing the police, and you got different opinions. Okay, for one, do the police need to be defunded? Yes, but understand that defunding the police does not mean we're going to take away all of their funding. We're going to reallocate their funding to other things. Excuse me. For one, police having military style weapons, tanks, armor, it's not necessary. It really isn't. How often are cops day to day in a war-like environment? There's a reason why we have a National Guard. So when there are times that the police can't maintain the peace, you bring in the National Guard to guard the national interest internally. That's what they're there for. But back to defunding the police, don't allow your news networks to blind you into what it is. And you have to read for yourself. You have to get an understanding, because again, is the idea to pull some funding from police? Yes. But the responsibility, the burden that's placed on police right now is so heavy. You're asking them to do so many different things, and the amount of training that they get. Remember, it's harder to become a barber, a licensed barber. It takes more hours of training, more time than it does to become a police officer. Is someone's life in a barber's hand? It's questionable, because if your lineup is poo, raggedy, you got a problem. But we put our lives in policemen's hands, police officers' hands, and that's the problem. So defunding looks more like, hey, instead of asking the police to do everything from I don't know, fighting crime, investigating crimes, dealing with mental health issues, dealing with drug issues, it's like, hold on, let's take this funding, let's give social workers more funding. Because if you're giving social workers more funding, maybe you can hire more social workers. Maybe you can raise their wages so that these people can get involved in these houses and help out these children who really need the help. Okay, you can take some of that funding and move it over, keep it in criminal justice, right? You can move it over to the legal side of the house, and you can afford to pay your public defenders a little bit more money. So it's just not stripping away the police from everything. It is, sorry, I got a text. It is giving them the opportunity. It's giving the government an opportunity to display the funds, not display the funds, to use the funds differently. That's all it is. Okay. So don't let the media scare you. And I asked the question, where do you feel safe? Like, where do you feel most safe? Because I promise you, having a bunch of police around you don't make you feel safe. It don't make you feel safe. Think about your safety net, and I promise you, the only police officers that are going to be there are police officers that you know personally. It's not going to be, you're not going to have you don't want to have security everywhere, because if you need security, that means that you're not secure. So for people who think that defunding the police or adding a heavier police presence is going to help and make people feel safe, sorry, it doesn't. All right, what do you want to go to next? You know, I've been seeing some people still trying to push back on Black Lives Matter, and you people are despicable. Absolutely despicable. Because it's not Black Lives Matter more. And I shouldn't have to say this, it's Black Lives Matter. But I'll say Black Lives Mattering is the minimum. Me asking you to just care a little bit about my existence is the minimum. Okay? And for those of you who think that it is racist to ask you to care about my life, you are probably a racist. Okay? You are somebody who should look at yourself and evaluate what is important to you, because, you know, me asking my life to matter is simple. And I think that we need to be careful about how we go about some of these with these protests and stuff, right? I'm all for the protests, but understand, it is not just against police brutality. It is about the injustice that our people have experienced generationally in this country. It's about the years of systematic oppression that we've been fighting against, okay? And for people who are upset that there are pro-Black institutions, that there are HBCUs, there is the NAACP, there ACLU, whatever institution you want to call it, understand these things were put in place because of a lack of inclusion. And yes, they continue to exist because there's still a lack of inclusion. So until there is total inclusion for us, or we blaze our own paths, then it's going to be that way. So understand that we're only asking you to matter. We're not asking you for everything that we feel like we deserve. And that's where I get to my next point. I don't want your crumbs. If you're going to give me some crumbs, I should just flip the whole damn table, cook my own meal, and eat my own food, because I want a full plate. I'm trying to get full, baby. What are we going to do with some crumbs? Knocking down these statues, beautiful. Taking the names off some of these racist institutions, beautiful. Roger Goodell making his little statement last week, beautiful. People in Congress wearing kente cloths and kneeling, disgusting. But I guess they're showing their solidarity. Look, Congress, I don't need your solidarity. I need your signature. But let's not get distracted by these crumbs. The talk of Colin Kaepernick needs to come back to the NFL. He should be put on a team. Okay, maybe. I don't know about that. I don't know if he's good enough to play now. I mean, he's good enough to back some people up because backup quarterbacks don't play. But look, I don't want your crumbs. I want what is owed to me. I want tangibles. I want deliverables. I want reparations. I don't want no crumbs. And with those reparations, I want some education for my people so that we don't take these reparations and stimulate your economy. Because I 100% feel that if reparations are given, they're not given because out of the kindness of one's heart. They're given to us to put back into the economy because the black dollar spins, and it spins fast. So with these reparations that I want, that we deserve, I think it's important that we take them and we create our own infrastructure. We have to create our own infrastructure to divorce us from the mainstream of society. And with this, we have to take our money, create our own communities, and understand that when people want us, when people want to talk to us, if you need us, if you want me to join your community, if you want me to fuel your economy, it's going to be on my terms. Like you think about sports leagues, NFL, NBA. Majority black, but we don't own nothing. No. If you want us to play in your league, I need some ownership, baby. I need to own some of this now. And with these reparations, we have to build our infrastructure. We have to ensure that we are setting ourselves up our children up for long-term success. We have to build wealth, generational prosperity. We can't take a little paycheck and just be satisfied. No, 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 no. We cannot be satisfied, and we will not be satisfied until we can stand on our own 2 feet. And anything less is not okay. But back to these crumbs, man. Look here, Congress. Let me tell you something. You wearing a kente cloth and taking a knee is a crumb. You have a signature, right? Your job is to create policies to make life better for your people. So here's what I need you to do. Get off your knees, get in your office, and start writing some policies. And if you don't know how to write them, because I see a lot of times white people want to fix black problems, but they don't know the right way to do it. They usually white it up when they do it. Talk to the black people. And not just black people, culture black people, because a lot of times we confuse melanin for culture. So if Candace Owens, she whose name I shall not say no more, is she black? Absolutely. But is she of our culture? No. No, not at all. She's the black friend. Yeah, I know black girls. Yeah, she's great. No, no, no. You need people of the culture so that we can tell you what's going on in our communities, so that it reflects in your policies. And like I've said in previous weeks, if your policies don't reflect what we need in our communities, I want you out of there. And that's why we have to continue to apply pressure, because crumbs ain't good enough. I want the whole meal. You know how the women be like, I ain't a snack, I'm a whole meal. Yes, we need the whole meal, but we got to cook it in our own kitchen. We have to cook in our own kitchen. We have to set our own tables, because if not, we continue to be a pawn in the system. Where am I going next? All right, so oh yeah, with this crumbs thing, the NASCAR flag removal. Thanks, NASCAR, for saying you can't have a racist flag flying at our events. And for people who have an issue with that, F you, okay? Let me tell you something. If you think that the rebel flag is a signal or a symbol of the South, you're kind of right. But I've never understood praising losers. It's a flag that goes against America's values that you claim to love so much. And if you think that people telling you can't wave this losing flag is a problem, then again, you should look at yourself, evaluate what's going on in you. What drives you? Why do you care so much about a flag that symbolizes the South? Look at your state flag. That symbolizes your state. Fly that thing with pride. Okay? Or make up your own Southern flag that may speak to your Southern values that aren't racist values. You can't, can you? Because see, that's the symbol you want. You want the South to rise again. When you say the South will rise again, you're saying you want to continue oppressing my people and put us back in shackles. Freedom, where are you? We're still looking for you. So anybody who is in a tizzy about the darn Confederate flag, shut up. But remember, just the removal of the Confederate flag in all these public places and all these statues, it's a step to tear down the symbols, but it's just a crumb. It's not the meal. Little sports. Dabo. Talk to you about Dabo, man. Got to divorce Dabo, Clemson. The right thing to do is to divorce Dabo. I said blackball Breeze. Why? Because it makes a statement. It's a true statement about standing up for racial inequality. Clemson, you need to divorce Dabo. I don't care how much he wins. I'm going to tell you something. He's acting like a good old boy from Alabama. Football matters, really? Really? I don't care if you've been wearing the shirt for years. I'm telling you, at a time like this, when people are saying Black Lives Matter, and you're saying football matters, man, who gives a damn about football right now? These black lives that you are trying to diminish are the reason you get $9 million a year to coach. Because I promise you, Them black guys ain't playing for you. You ain't getting them rings, Dabo. We don't even know your name, Dabo. And for the players who are coming out to defend their coach, you got to be careful. Because the scariest racist is the nice one. The one who's going to tell you what you want to hear. The one who's going to help you get an opportunity, right? The one who might put a little money in your pocket. But at the end of the day, he don't give a damn about you unless you can do something for him. And that's what I think Dabo is. That's who he presents himself to be to me. He's the scary one. He going to sit there. Hey, I can get you to the NFL. I coach Sean Watson. You know, I coach who else? Nuke Hopkins. They love me. They'll come here. They'll tell you. And Trevor Lawrence, we love you. You've been saying some good stuff, but defending Dabo right now? Nah, baby. Can't defend Dabo because you said we do not tolerate the N-word used in this program. Bull! Your players are going to say it. We going to say it. You don't tell me I can't say that word, okay? And then to allow a coach to repeat it back to somebody and you say, well, no, he wasn't calling him the N-word. He just repeated. It don't matter. You have to know that that is a no-no. And to enable that behavior within your program lets me know where you stand. You're just trying to get rich off the backs of black people. These niggas. That's what you're doing. And Clemson, if you really care, okay, you take John C. Calhoun's name off of the building. Great, thank you. That's a crumb. That is a crumb. Punish Dabo. Let Dabo go. Let us know that winning ain't everything. Football ain't everything. We have to make examples of people who are willing to step out here and disrespect us. You got to make examples of them. And until people like Dabo are made examples of, nothing's going to change. He's going to get out here. He's going to try to say the right things. Now, he's going to try to clean it up. But, man, look. Dabo don't give a damn about us. If we can't run the ball, we can't tackle. He don't care. His track record has showed it. The different comments he's made time and time again, the fact that he didn't want his players to go protest, because participate in a sit-in to say, well, you know, you're not just a regular student. Yes, you are. You represent the football program, so I represent myself. I represent my race. And if there's an issue here, I want to be front and center. You that type of behavior, unacceptable. That's why we have to divorce Dabo, because these people like him, are a problem. And if they don't feel it, like I don't know where I'm at on Drew Brees right now, but he had to feel it. He got so much public blowback. His teammates came after him. Maybe he had a change of heart. I hope so. But if we don't hold Dabo accountable, if we don't make him feel this, he's never going to change, and he's going to continue profiting off our people. Go to HBCUs. Build them up. Support black business. What else do I got? Lastly, what YG and J-Lo did, I think, is absolutely disgusting. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just, maybe, you know, I'm a cynic. I am that. But shooting a video to hijack a protest to increase your brand, I'm skeptical of. J-Lo walking through the streets saying Black Lives Matter with A-Rod, and you got the cameras and stuff. I'm skeptical of that. And that takes me to the last point. Everybody ain't an ally. We talked about allies last week and what an ally looks like. But I want to let you know that everybody ain't an ally. For those of you who saw what happened on Dyckman in New York with the black people and the Dominican people, sometimes we think, oh, they got black skin, they're an ally. No. When people talk about minorities and people of color, and you're like, oh, they're an ally. No. Understand, I am a minority. I am a person of color, yes, but I'm also a black man. And we're talking about black issues. specifically black issues, we have to be intentional with our words. We have to say this is a black problem. I went to a protest, and it was a Black Lives Matter protest, but I couldn't find the black person who put the Black Lives Matter protest together. And by the time I left, we're talking about all types of other different issues. Hey, look here. I'm not saying your issue is more or less than mine. I don't know your issues. I'm trying to be a black man and survive in America. Got enough issues to worry about. And not, again, I don't want to diminish the significance of other people's issues, but here's what I'm going to say. Don't hide your issues. Do not disguise your agenda under Black Lives Matter. Don't do that. Don't ride this momentum that we're building, the change we're trying to make to push your own agenda, because here's what happens. Black folks, we do this all the time. We get to run in this race. We think these people are our allies because, they've dealt with injustice. Look here. They wasn't chattel property. They weren't slaves like us. They didn't have all the different barriers to success that we've had to endure. Don't let them hop on our backs. And then right before we get to the finish line, hop off, kick us back, win the race, and then we got to start over. They're the reason why most black women I talk to don't identify as feminists. It's not because they don't want equality for women. It's because the feminist movement didn't want equality for black women. They just want equality for women. Think about this. You will catch more hate, more vitriol for saying something negative or something that is perceived negative about the LGBT community. But ain't nobody gonna kill you for being a racist. Just think about that. So when we're in this battle for equality, don't let other groups dilute our message. Look, we're fighting for the same stuff, but I told y'all it's a multi-front war, right? We have to hit it from different places. So look here. If you're not aligned with what we're fighting on this front, I need you to go to another front and go fight over there. Because what I'm not going to do is, what I can't stand by and do is continue to allow people to hijack our message, to hijack what we're trying to do, hijack the freedoms we're trying to fight for, and take them, get them, and then not give us the olive branch when they get there. I hope y'all saw the video of the chick from Party City talking about all these niggers this, niggers that, and you Hispanic, like, come on, baby. That's how you feel about us. If you feel that way, that's fine. Just let me know, because then I know you're an ally. And again, this doesn't go to everybody. It goes to the specific people who want to align themselves with us, fight with us. Then when the fight's over, they want to kick our ass. Everybody's not an ally. It's going to wrap it up. I hate that we didn't get to have Tyler on. We're going to reschedule that, get it going. But I got a big one coming for you next week for Juneteenth. I got my guy, a mentor, somebody who I've been leaning on for years, getting all types of information. Rashad, we're going to come on here. We're going to talk about more about some of these issues. It's going to be another heavy podcast next week. We're going to talk about people of color. We're going to talk about more of this relationship issues, preserving our blackness. It's going to be heavy. So I hope y'all enjoy that. Also, we're going to have a little reunion tomorrow, Big Baby and the Bovine, and we're going to go down the rabbit hole about the deep state. Enjoy your Saturday. Got Juneteenth merch coming out soon. Juneteenth is next week. Make sure you educate yourself and educate the people around you. Big Baby,